back to my channel and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen and this is Jen Clayton Beauty. We do everything beauty and makeup and that includes declutter. And I am about to declutter more of my makeup. My goal is to get rid of 50% of my makeup because I have a lot and I am moving in March and I want to move as little as possible, and I really only want to keep what brings me joy. I am giving all of my decluttered makeup to friends and family, so it is all spoken for. It all has an adequate home that will get a lot more use out of it than I am. So if you're excited for another declutter, give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not, turn your bell on because I upload lots and lots of new videos every single week. And like I said, we are full on in declutter mode, so there's a lot of content coming your way. Down in the description box, I will have my favorite beauty subscriptions, all of the makeup that I'm wearing in today's video if you would like to shop this look, discounts to my favorite indie brands, and come follow me on TikTok for more beauty and makeup. Also, I will not be linking all of the makeup we're talking about today. I would be here till I'm old and gray. So let's jump into another declutter. Now, I love highlight. It's one of my favorite makeups, but you guys, this is ridiculous. This is way, way, way too many. I need to be a little cutthroat. Let's declutter. Starting out with the highlighter from Wet n Wild. I hate this highlighter. It's very dry. It's not luminous at all. It is awful, awful. So we can start off the highlight declutter with a declutter. From Kay Voss, this is the Moonlit Star Kissed Highlighter Duo. It is pretty, but I have this highlight color time and time again in a formula I like better, so let's continue decluttering. Glam Light, I have the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air Highlighter Trio. This is gorgeous. Now the thing with Glam Light, a lot of their highlighters are very glittery, which I don't love. This is pretty glittery, but I really, really like the formula. So I want to keep this for 2025. We'll see how much I reach for it and we'll revisit it in 2026. From Beauty Creations, this is the Sweet Glow. Now I kept this last year and I have used this a few times, but I'm over it, to be honest with you. I do like the blue, it's beautiful, but I have some other blue leaning highlighters, so I'm gonna let this one go. ColourPop in the Hocus Pocus 2, this is Find the Book. I hate the component of this. It is so incredibly hard to open, but this highlighter is so pretty. And at first I was thinking I was gonna declutter it, but I don't think I can do it. I think I'm gonna keep it for one more year. I also absolutely love this highlighter from Makeup Revolution and The Simpsons. This is one of the best, if not the best, highlighter Makeup Revolution has ever put out, so I'm 100% keeping. Shop Miss A, the dollar makeup brand. I have this highlighter in the shade Everglow. It's beautiful. It's a champagne highlighter. The formula is really nice, but we gotta be a little cutthroat, so I'm going to get rid of this one. This is my favorite highlighter ever. Discovered this year. This is the Fenty Pretty Pearls 1000,000,000% keeping. Seraphine Botanicals, this is the Diamante highlighter. I can let this go. It is a nice formula, but it's a champagne highlighter, and I have a lot of those, as you're about to see. I have the Michaela Glam Light Highlighter Trio. To be honest with you, I think I'm ready to let this go. It's very, very, very glittery, and I kept the other Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that has similar shades. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to let this go. Glam Light Hershey's Cookies and Cream. I actually really like this little duo, so I'm going to keep this one. I'm also keeping the Glam Light Rick and Morty. This one will replace the Michaela as well, and this is a really pretty blue shifty highlighter. Shop Miss A, the AOA Perfect Highlighter. This is a pretty formula, but I don't need it, so I'm gonna pass it on. Glam Light Friday the 13th. This is beautiful. I actually just added this to my collection from a Glam Light mystery box. This is very pretty, very, very shifty, so keeping. On Earthly Cosmetics, this is the Spaced Out Duo. This is a beautiful pink highlighter duo, definitely keeping. And I'm keeping Get Groovy, which is more of an orange gold leaning duo. Also from Unearthly, from the Devour collection, this is really pretty. This is definitely a glowy blush, which I don't really reach for. I do like the highlighter, and as much as I love Unearthly, I think I'm gonna let this go because I only reach for this, which is a champagne shimmer, which is a champagne highlighter, which I have time and time again. Oh, it kills me. It kills me, but I'm gonna let it go. I have the Scooby-Doo Highlighter Duo. I'm gonna let this go too. Again, these are shades I have time and time again. This is a big compact to store. Yeah, it's time to let this one go. ColourPop, this is their Super Shock and Flexitarian. Mine is very broken up, but I use this constantly as an inner corner highlight. so I'm gonna keep it. From the Profusion and Peanuts collection, this is a really pretty highlighter. Now this shade is too deep for me, so I never ever reach for that one. I only use this one, and similar to the Unearthly duo, I just can't keep it for one highlighter. I've really got to narrow down this collection, so I'm gonna pass this on. Just got the Willy Wonka from Glamlight Golden Ticket highlighter duo. This one is really pretty. It's a little less glittery than some of the other Glamlight highlighters, but very seen from space, so keeping. From Dollar Makeup Shop Miss A, this is a kind of a cream to powder formula. The lid of this is broken, so it's dried out a bit. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. So from Glamlight, I just got this too. This is the Coca-Cola highlighter. This one I originally thought was going to be this beautiful white highlight, and it's definitely more pink leaning. I didn't love this. I didn't love it, and I have a lot of pink highlighters. I have my little duo from Unearthly, so I'm gonna let this go. From Makeup Revolution, this is in the shade Pink Seduction. Makeup Revolution's baked highlighters are gorgeous. Gorgeous, 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 so keeping this. Speaking of pink, I have this little planet-shaped one from SheGlam, which is Shein's makeup line. Because I kept the Makeup Revolution, I am going to go ahead and declutter this one. This highlighter came in that no-name makeup beauty advent calendar, and it's so stunning. I don't know what it is about that makeup and that calendar. It's so, so, so good, so I'm keeping. I also have a baked highlighter from Essence. Now this is pretty, but Essence formula isn't as good as Makeup Revolution's formula, so I'm gonna pass this one on. And from Frosty the Snowman ColourPop Super Shock in Winter Wonder. This is so pretty. It has a little bit of a goldy blue shift to it. I love the Super Shock formula, so I'm keeping. From Estate Cosmetics, this is a cream highlight in the shade Sonic. It is a pretty pink highlight, but you saw I have so many pinks, and in formulas I like better, so I'm gonna declutter. ColourPop Super Shocks, this is in Icicle Spree. This is from the Frosty the Snowman. Beautiful, and this one's a little bit more pink leaning, so keeping. These two from ColourPop from the Winnie the Pooh collection. First up I have Silly Old Bear, which is a pretty kind of gold leaning Super Shock. Now these are great formula, absolutely fantastic, but they're older to my collection, so I think I'm gonna only keep one. So the other shade is 100 Acre Wood. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna get rid of 100 Acre Wood, and I'm going to keep Silly Old Bear. This loose highlighter from Juvia's Place, it is such a mess. It is literally all over my drawer. It's in the shade Cleo. It's time for it to go. Wipe some of these off from that Juvia's Place highlighter, but this is from Benefit. This is in the shade Dandelion. It's pretty, but it's blah. It's not the kind of highlighter I prefer. It's very natural, and that is not me. I love a good scene from space, so I'm gonna declutter. And then this is actually an eyeshadow, a Super Shock shadow, but I love it as a highlight. This is in Creepin', and this is from the Haunted Mansion collection from ColourPop. It is a beautiful shifty blue highlight. Definitely keeping, it's actually a shadow, but keeping as a highlight. I have quite a few from Ofra. So this is Space Baby. This is older to my collection. It was in collaboration with Nikki Tutorials. It's a blue shifty highlighter. I really love this, and it's a unique highlighter to my collection, so I'm gonna hang on to this one. Beautiful Ofra highlighter. I'm gonna keep this because I do actually really enjoy this one. Lastly, I have Stars and Stripes. This is a pink and white highlight. I never reach for this because I like my Unearthly pink little highlighter duo better, and the Makeup Revolution, honestly, so I'm going to declutter. I have two from Be Perfect. These are their Get Wet highlighters. This one's in the shade Do You. These are just a creamy, beautiful highlight. I love these. They look like your face is wet from the highlight in a good way. And I have two of them. They were expensive. I've had them forever. I love them. I'm keeping. So Do You. And I have Skin Sheen. Both beautiful, both staying. Oh, I have another one from Ofra. This is in Rodeo Drive. So this is another just quintessential Ofra highlight. This one I don't reach for as much. It's beautiful. I just don't reach for it as much. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this on. Nomad, the Around the World highlighter. This is a purple leaning highlight. I used to love this, but now that I just used this recently, and it's just not what I remember it being. I mean, it's pretty. It's just not very sparkly, very luminescent on the skin. So I'm going to declutter. I have a couple from Jaclyn. I have Ice, which is my favorite Jaclyn Cosmetics highlighter. Definitely keeping. Then I also have the shade Spark, which I think I can get rid of because I like Iced better. And again, these are pretty hefty, chunky components to store. Oh my gosh, I love this highlight. This is Moon Crush from Too Faced. Oh, this and the Fenty Beauty are the most beautiful, beautiful highlighters. 1,000,000% keeping. I have one Jeffree Star. This is Lick My Glit. This is very, very sparkly, very glittery. I do like this though, and I often use this as a topper on my as a highlighter, and I want to say I paid $50 for this, so I'm going to keep it for one more year. Let's see how much use I get out of it. Still loading from ColourPop. It is broken to the max. Definitely decluttering. And I'm also going to declutter this one from About Face. This is the Light Lock. It's a little lavender leaning. I just never reach for this. Similar to the Nomad, the last time I used this, I didn't think it was all it was cracked up to be, or at least I thought it was, so decluttering. Woodin's Eye, I have Azura Shine. I actually like this highlighter. I don't love it, but I like it and I do use it pretty regularly. So this is another one we're gonna keep for 2025. We'll see how much I use it. From Unearthly Cosmetics, this is the In the Dark highlight. This is in Flicker. She's so pretty. She's a shifty blue highlighter. Yes, yes, yes. So from Unearthly, the Low Light highlight. Oh, she's so beautiful. Unearthly's highlighters are fantastic. The loose highlighter from Jaclyn Cosmetics in Extra. Now I do really like this highlighter, but to be honest with you, I would probably just reach for iced if I was going to pick a Jaclyn highlighter. And loose highlighters, they're just so messy. Oh, they're so messy. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. I have this little loose highlighter and I do not like this. It's very, very messy as well. It's pretty, but she's gotta go. From Beau Babe Beauty, I have this kind of more darker champagne leaning highlight. This is too deep for my skin tone. Definitely too deep, so I'm gonna pass this on. Soric, this is a pretty highlight. I've actually used this quite a bit, but it reminds me of my iced highlighter from Jaclyn Cosmetics, so I'm going to declutter. This is Diamond Glow from Makeup Revolution. This is one of their baked highlighters. Oh my God, I love this so much. This is so incredibly stunningly beautiful. Keep, keep, keep. From Charmacy, this has a little bit of a green and white highlight. I wanted this to be more green than it is, and it's already starting to develop some hard pan, so I'm going to declutter. I love this one from Wet n Wild. This is Blossom Glow. This is just a really pretty pinky champagne highlighter. Definitely keeping. And last but not least, from Unearthly, this is the Resurgence highlighter. Now mine came shattered. The deep shade came shattered. I've been using it. They actually refunded my money because it came shattered, but I can't keep it anymore. I can't keep it. I just don't reach for it that often. I do think this shade here is beautiful, but because this one is completely crumbled, I don't reach for it. So it's time for it to go. Let me go wash all this Juvia's Place loose highlighter out of here and let's count up our highlighters. So I kept 29 highlighters. I actually have room in my drawer. These are my bronzers, and then my highlighters are on the left. This used to be so incredibly packed. This makes me really happy. And I decluttered 30. So I actually decluttered more highlighters than I kept. So happy with this. I'm feeling much less overwhelmed. Next up is face palettes. Again, I have way too many. All right, time for some face palette declutter. Let's get started with the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism Blush Palette. Now, I will say I do reach for my blush palettes quite a bit. However, I have a couple different palettes from Lunar Beauty and I don't need to keep them all. So this is the first one. We're gonna pull them out and look at them side by side and make a decision. Then the other one I have is the Fool Fantasy Blush, which was Lunar Beauty and Laura Lee Cosmetics. Now, Laura Lee is no longer a makeup brand, I don't believe. Laura Lee Los Angeles. This particular blush has two highlighters where the other one is all blush. However, I do see myself reaching for the blush shades in this palette more than the blush shades in this palette. Let me just look one more time. Yeah, because this is a glowy blush. This is too light for my skin tone. These are too deep. So we're going to declutter the Moon Prism blush palette and I'm going to keep the Fool Fantasy. I have another Laura Lee Los Angeles. This is her blush aesthetic palette. It does have one highlighter in it, but this is a beautiful, beautiful blush palette. I really like this one. And there's a wide variety of blush shades. So I'm going to keep this for another year. Again, with the face palettes, it's really about how much am I going to use the ones that I keep, and then we'll revisit it next year. This is the Pat McGrath Define Blush and Glow Palette in Nude Venus. I love this. This is probably one of my most used face palettes because this highlighter is the most beautiful highlighter. I absolutely love it. I love this palette, and I am not a big Pat McGrath fan. I think I got this palette in a subscription box. I would have never paid full price for it, but I love it and I use it a lot. Now, I kept this one last year. This is the Love Sprung from Artist Couture, and I have not used it one time in 2024. So This is what I mean by revisiting it the next year. This one is being decluttered. I have my Unearthly Cosmetics highlighter palette. This was part of their Halloween box last year. I like this palette, but honestly, I don't reach for it that often. If anything, I use the green highlighter the most. So I'm gonna keep this for one more year. Unearthly's my favorite brand, and I do love that green. Let me see how much use I get out of this in 2025. I also have the Surrender from Unearthly, which was their Valentine's collection last year. This is a glowy blush palette, and I like this one. I actually use this a lot. Whenever I want a glowy blush, this is what I'm reaching for. I especially love this shade in the middle, so keeping. This is the Mini Mix palette from Ofra Cosmetics. It actually has some eyeshadows, highlighter, and blush. Hate. And that's a strong word, I know, but I hate this palette. The eyeshadows are horrible. The bronzer's too deep for me. The blush, I don't really care about it. I have a million times. I don't like it at all. So this one, definitely being decluttered. The Natasha Denona Glam face palette. It actually has a cream blush, a highlighter, and eyeshadows. I didn't use this at all. Not once in 2024. Now, I think the eyeshadow formula of this is nice. I like the blush and highlight. So I'm gonna put this at the front of my drawer. I have a lot of palettes, so I think it just got overlooked. And this one, again, I'm gonna see if I use it this year, and we'll revisit it next year. Earthly, the Spring Magic. Love this. I reach for this one a lot. Again, beautiful glowy blushes, purple blushes, things I don't have in my collection, so I'm 1,000,000,000% keeping. And then from Blend Bunny, I have the Noctilucent highlighter palette. Now, this is in my bottom drawer because it's a face palette, yes. It's a highlighter palette, yes. She's well loved. I use this as inner corner highlight. So if my eyeshadow palette doesn't have an inner corner highlight, I use this. So I'm keeping it for that reason. I do not use this as highlight. It's way too glittery for me. Rifle Cosmetics, this is the Pavlova palette. This is new to my collection. I don't like this at all, at all, at all. I just use this in a testing new makeup. If you want to hear my in-depth thoughts, watch that video, but she is definitely being decluttered. From Adept, this is the Amy Loves blush palette. I love this. It's so beautiful. It's so pretty. We have a couple of glowy blushes, highlighter shades, couple of blush shades. I love all four of these. I use this palette a lot, so she's staying. This is newer to my collection, and I love this. This is from Lunar Beauty. This is the Moonshroom highlighter palette. Oh my gosh, is it beautiful? I love this palette. The formula is so nice. Definitely keeping. Then Cosmetics Rouge Romance. I like this blush palette. Honestly, I reach for this a lot. It has a lot of the shades that I like in blush. So I'm gonna hang on to this for another year. Oh my gosh, I just found another Lunar Beauty. I thought I had more than two. This is the Nude Prism blush palette. This one I can let go. Really, the only two shades I use are these. And I have both of these shades actually in my Jaclyn Rouge Romance. So I'm gonna let this one from Lunar Beauty go as well. From Alien Cosmetics, which used to be what Unearthly was called, this is the Low Lights palette. I love this highlighter palette. These highlighters are so unique. Are they the best formula? No. Unearthly's definitely improved their formula, but I do reach for this a lot, so I'm gonna keep it. From Melt, I have the Amora Mariposa blush palette. I like this palette because the blush shades are kind of unique. Like, I really like this kind of orangey shade. I don't ever use 3 out of the 6 though. Do I wanna let it go? Yeah, it's time. I'm gonna let this go. From Blend Bunny, this is the Juicy Cheeks. I love this palette. How fun is this? Yellow blush, orange blush, purple blush. Yes, yes. Love the formula so much. I actually reach for this a lot, so it's staying. Last but not least is this face palette from Il Makiage. Very much disliked this palette as well. It is in a testing new makeup if you wanna hear my thoughts, but definitely decluttering. Keeping 13 face palettes, I'm decluttering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So about half the amount that I kept, I'm decluttering. Face palettes are things I do reach for a lot, and I feel like I don't have an overabundance, so I feel good about decluttering the 7 I'm decluttering. This looks a million times better. I'm so happy with the progress and the organization. Last but not least for this declutter video are pencil liners. So these are all colored liners. There's some black, some brown, a lot of colored liners. I typically wear these in my waterline. This is way too many, so we need to be a bit cutthroat here as well. So I've went ahead and separated all of my liners by color scheme. So these are my yellows and gold, and here they are swatched on my hand. I can definitely declutter some of these. This bright yellow is a color pop. Keeping that, I really like that. This goldy brown shade, this copper shade, I'll never use that, so we can declutter. So I'm gonna declutter 3. I've got some goldy, the copper, and then this LA Colors. And And I'm gonna keep these 4 because these are the 4 gold shades that I feel like I would reach for the most. Now for purple, kind of plum leaning shades, there's definitely some here we can declutter. These color spell liners, I don't even know where these came from, but these are really nice formula. The only thing is these lids do not like to stay on, but I really like this purple, so I'm going to keep. ColourPop one, this color stick is so old, it's time to declutter. Rashbi Cosmetics, this purple liner, it's pretty, but I never reach for it, so I'm going to let it go. This one from Makeup Geek, I'm keeping. I really like the purple, and it's a nice creamy formula. This is a lighter lavender shade. It's actually right here on my hand from Rashbi. I'm gonna keep that one because I don't have another lavender. I do, but I'm going to be decluttering the other one that I have, which is this one from Odin's Eye. The formula of these is not good, so I'm decluttering. I'm also decluttering this one from Ulta Beauty. I never use it. This is a multi-chrome from ColourPop. I love the ColourPop multi-chrome liner, so I'm keeping. Then this one from Pixi. Oh no, I can get rid of this one from Pixi. Now pinkies and oranges. Next up is this one from Illuminati. It is this beautiful bright Barbie pink, definitely keeping. This one from Crown Beauty is not the best formula, and it's kind of a burgundy shade. I never use it, so decluttering. Another one from Odin's Eye, decluttering. This is the peachy multi-chrome from ColourPop, keeping. So this beautiful orange, I really like this liner. Whenever I want a orange waterline, this is the one I'm reaching for from ColourPop. Another one from Rashbi. It's kind of a pinky color, never use it, going to declutter. I'm also decluttering this one from ColourPop from Powerpuff Girls. It's really old. This one from Davis Beauty. I love this. It's kind of a multi-chrome shifty pink. I'm going to keep this one. I actually use this one a lot. Now this ColourPop is pretty similar to the multi-chrome ColourPop. It's just a little more peachy and I really like it. So I'm going to keep. This is the purple pink multi-chrome from ColourPop, keeping. And this one from Araceli Beauty, the formula is not good, decluttering. Moving on to blue. So this is the NYX Beetlejuice Pinstripe Duo. I love this. I love the multi-chrome blue liner and that it has a felt tip, definitely keeping. This one from Odin's Eye can go. This from Illuminati, I'm also going to declutter because it's similar to the NYX Beetlejuice. Cupid's Arrow from Nabla, it's so old. I've had this for years and years, but I use it all the time. It's a navy color and I love it, keeping. This is the blue multi-chrome liner from ColourPop, keeping. Ooh, I like that. That's like a light baby blue duochrome from ColourPop or from NYX. Oh, NYX Epic Wear, keeping. And then I'm keeping mine from Juvia's Place, the Nubian. I use this all the time. It's this beautiful blurple. Now moving on to greens. First up is the Moira Supernova Multichrome. Use this constantly. One of my favorites, keeping. This is Beauty for Real. It's a forest green. I never use it, decluttering. I never use this green kind of teal shade from Crown Beauty, decluttering. This is from ColourPop. I love this green liner. This is from that old collection. What was that? The tropical one that was really popular. I just really like this green, so I'm keeping. This is a glowy kind of green. You can see it here from the brand Glow. I actually kind of like it. I just never use it. I never use it, so I'm going to declutter. This is a multi-chrome from She Glam that shifts from blue to green. I'm keeping. This one from Appeal Cosmetics is not my favorite formula, decluttering. This is the teal ColourPop multi-chrome liner, keeping. And I'm also keeping this one from ColourPop. I love this green color. Odin's Eye, decluttering. This one from ColourPop is pretty dry when I swatched it, so I'm going to declutter. And then this one again is from that Color Spell brand with the staying on lid, but I love this color and it's so creamy, keeping. And then lastly are my browns, grays, neutrals. We can definitely scale this back. First up is from NYX, the Vivid Rich brown liner. This is my favorite brown liner in my collection, so keeping. This brown from Essence, I can get rid of this one since I kept the NYX. I'm also going to declutter this one from Wet n Wild. It's pretty similar shade to the NYX. This is a black liner from Makeup Revolution. Love the formula, keeping. Odin's Eye, automatic declutter. This one from Nabla, this other Cupid's Arrow. Again, I've had these for 20 million years. I think I can let this brown go since it isn't very different from a traditional brown and it's older in my collection. This is the Peanuts X Perfusion Black. I'm going to let this go since I kept the other black liner. This is from LA Colors, auto liner in black, can definitely declutter. This is from Essence. This is my white eyeliner of choice, keeping. And this is the white eyeliner from Odin's Eye, decluttering. This is kind of a shimmery brown. I never use this. It's from I Am Resilient from Real Her. I'm going to declutter. Odin's Eye, Declutter. And last but not least, a cool tone brown from Makeup Revolution. I'm going to keep this just because it's unique to my collection. All right, I changed my mind on the Real Her. You can see it here. It's the shimmery brown. I don't have another shimmery brown, so I'm actually going to hang on to this one. So I kept 30 eyeliners, which is not bad. This looks a lot better now. My drawer can actually shut. I'm decluttering 29. So half of my collection, kept 30, decluttered 29, feeling absolutely incredible. About half of my liners gone. Thank you for joining me for today's declutter. I hope you enjoyed seeing everything I got rid of. I'm actually feeling really good. I'm feeling a lot less overwhelmed. I still have more than the average person. And like I said, my friends and family will be very excited to get all of this amazing makeup. So if you enjoyed the declutter, give it a thumbs up. Again, subscribe, turn your bell on because I'm uploading so many declutter videos. And check out the description box for my favorite beauty subscriptions. All of the makeup that I'm wearing today, if you would like to shop this look, discounts to my favorite indie brands, and come follow me on TikTok for more beauty and makeup. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.